What's up, people? I'm Jay Avarice.
And I'm Brett.
And this is my brother Justin. Welcome to the grid. Today, we're going to talk about Mortal Kombat 10. Mortal Kombat! I can't wait. Finish him. Well, we need to bring an expert into this right now, and that's why this man is here. He is the local expert in all things Mortal Kombat. You want to introduce yourself, Justin?
My name is Justin. I'm the local Mortal Kombat expert. That's
Damn.
about it.
All right.
Let's
pop right into it. So, Mortal Kombat 10, it's out. We talked about it before. Excited as hell. Really looking forward to playing the new game. And now, let's just go into, how about the gameplay? What do you think about it, Brett?
Well, I mean, if you're a fan of the series, you're definitely going to like it. You could just jump right in. It's awesome. I love the gameplay. You got 3 different fighting styles for every character now, which you can change it up, gives it a little more variety. What do you think, Justin?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think that they improved upon the things that they also improved upon in Injustice from MK9. It has much more of a competitive feel to it, which will make it more popular amongst the tournaments. I felt that Injustice was much more popular in the tournaments than MK9 ended up being. But overall, it still has the Mortal Kombat charm to it.
Did you feel like that just the 3 different fighting styles for each character was kind of like maybe a cop-out for adding more players and more custom abilities for players?
No, not at all. A lot of people that I know that play the game feel like their favorite characters were quote-unquote nerfed. But
interesting word to use.
But I felt that
No.
that each by adding the 3 variations in, I thought that many other fighting games, each person plays the same in every single game. But Mortal Kombat, they always changed up the way that each person played. And then giving them these 3 variations in this game, I felt was a way of making that 24 seem like that 24 initial characters in the roster more than it really was.
Like almost like 72.
Yeah, and I also feel like it's really cool. Like if you guys like, if I really like Scorpion and you really like Scorpion, instead of just having 2 of the same Scorpions, it gives you the option of 2 different Scorpions facing off against each other. So it still makes it exciting.
I'm just happy they didn't finally hoe out my boy Sub-Zero because he has been clunky. He's been the least agile ninja of all time in the last few games. Now he's a Cryomancer, he's the Grandmaster, he's unbreakable. So it's pretty awesome that they're actually doing that too. But with the good, I think, comes kind of with more of the bad or the story mode. I love Mortal Kombat lore. I mean, I think the reason why Mortal Kombat's been around for such a long time is because you care about these characters. They've evolved over time, and they really seem to take care and give you what you want, these guys. Mortal Kombat 9 was probably the zenith of this. It was unbelievable. I mean, it wrapped it all in a nice little package and tied it tight. And then in this one, not so much. And that's, I think, the biggest detract to this game.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't want to go into the whole story and spoil things, but when you had Mortal Kombat 9, it served 2 really great purposes. One, it really explored the lore of Mortal Kombat and brought you into it if you were just like a casual MK player and you didn't really know too much about it. But also, what it really lets you do is you played as every character, and it lets you get experience with every single character. Now, jumping forward to Mortal Kombat X or 10, whatever you want to call it, this one was, it got a lot of praise for being a great story, but in my opinion, I feel like it was really short. Like you could easily beat it in one sitting. I think you can anyway. And like I said, it was just short, and they introduced these new characters like Ferritor and Aaron Black and the new kids, Kung Jin.
On the block?
New kids on the block.
Is Donnie Wahlberg in this game?
He is.
I want to use Donnie Wahlberg in
but it lets you use some of those characters, but you don't use all of the characters. And that kind of bothered me a little bit. And on top of that, they have a lot of characters in the game, such as Rain and a couple others that you think are, oh, cool, Rain's in this game. I didn't even know that.
Everyone knows Rain.
And then you can't play as him in the story, and he's not a selectable character in just a normal fighting mode either.
And it's funny too is that Rain actually had a bigger part in the story than some of the other new characters that you mentioned.
He did, and the funny part, my biggest problem with that as well is the fact that they pump up Rain to have this big part of the story, and then they kind of just do nothing with it.
Kind of get hoed out.
Yeah.
Now you read the comics up.
Yes.
You know.
I still am reading the comics.
Yeah. So from somebody who actually read the comics and now played through the story mode, what can you say about that? Does it add? Does it not do really anything to it?
Honestly, it probably does absolutely virtually nothing to it.
Great.
It seems like the MKX comic was what you would thought. It was the lead up to MKX, but it seems that it gives you insight, some insight onto certain things. Like they reference in the MKX story mode. They reference the Reiko. Something with it, I forget exactly what it was called.
Rico?
Yeah, it was about him. Melina mentions it, and they mentioned it in passing, but the MKX comic currently isn't even finished, so it hasn't even gotten up to that point for me to know what the hell that even is. So it has nothing to do with it. Also, in the MKX comic, I don't know, spoiler, Goro gets all of his arms cut off. But he has them all in the game.
But you have to actually buy it originally. You have to pre-order it to make sure Goro gets all his arms back. Which brings me to my next point.
If you pay $5,
yeah. So completely, nullified. And they also released a combat pack that promised 4 amazing characters. Well, one amazing one that I really want to play as the fucking Predator. Jason Voorhees, that's nice. Tanya, who was in the story too as well. Good for her. And some guy named Tremor who looks like a brick shithouse. But some people maybe didn't get the memo that the combat pack wasn't just going to release all these characters at once, and it's pissed off a few people, but it did give you something originally, right?
Yes, the only thing it gave you so far is the Samurai Pack skin, which is...
The Samurai Jack in it?
Samurai Jack is not in it.
My God, this game!
To my dismay. Unfortunately. But they slowly... I believe Jason is supposed to be released very soon. I'd imagine it will be this Tuesday, because I know that it was rumored that he was going to be released on the 25th, but the 25th I believe was a Saturday, so I don't think they would ever release something like that on a Saturday. And I believe
it would make sense to release video stuff on a weekend.
I believe all the stores. I'm not sure about Xbox so much, but I think they all update on Tuesdays. So
it's
as far as
when they do all the resets and
yeah,
everything.
So I would imagine that would be when they would want to do the Jason Voorhees. Also, they did say, though, that with the Living Tower mode, you will have a chance to play as some of the DLC people, that even if you haven't bought them. So I think this next Living Tower, the weekly Living Tower, I think it's going to be a Jason Voorhees Living Tower, honestly.
Yeah, and just my biggest thing is I get that they want to release them over time. I get it, so you don't get them all at once, and then you're bored of it, I guess, whatever their reasoning is. But my biggest thing is you buy the game, it's $60, and on top of that, you're buying the combat pack, which was $30. So you're already at $90 for the game.
Unless you bought the extra death pack, which is like $200 or something like that.
Yeah, and then well, yeah, you get the statue.
$150, you get a statue.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
And
only an idiot would buy that.
I know many people would buy that. One in particular.
Yeah.
What was it? You just completely threw me off. Oh, but my thing is, you spent $30. Give me something so I can go home and say I spent $30 for a reason. Not, yay, I spent $30 and I get to use it in a month from now.
Hurry up and wait.
Like, that kind of really bothered me, but I guess I get it. But, and I mean, you have Goro in the game as a selectable character, and when you buy the combat pack, just throw him in there. But don't charge me another $5 to play as Goro.
I will say the interaction when you play as Johnny Cage versus Goro is pretty awesome. I'm not going to spoil that for anybody that's going to play the game. So if you saw the Mortal Kombat movie, you'll get the joke. But another cool part too was the presentation of this game looked unbelievable. And each character now, when they fight, they say something to each other, and it's really awesome the first couple times you see it. I mean, some of them were just ridiculously funny, but tying in with the storyline, it means nothing. It means absolutely no sense to the story. And I get when people say, it's a fucking fighting game, why do you care about the story? Well, it's fucking Mortal Kombat. We actually do care a little about the story and the characters. So,
well, I mean, you're making a big deal out of the story. At least make it all relevant.
Yeah, and they missed a huge part, one of probably the best characters of all time in Ermac.
Yeah. Leading up to this game, I was I pretty much watched it through the development, as I always do with every Mortal Kombat.
Expert.
But there's many references in his intros with other characters that Shao Kahn's soul is now inside of him.
Makes sense. He made him.
I was really looking forward to some kind of explanation or something to happen. Even if it wasn't in story mode, I thought, okay, clearly something's going to happen in the ending, and nothing. No, you never get anything, any description, any reasoning, anything behind that. So it's kind of just left up to us to say, well, how the hell is Shao Kahn's soul inside of this guy? And we just have to kind of figure it out for ourselves. And I really feel that for a team that really, over the course of the 23 years now that they've been making games, has really prided themselves on excellent story and story writing and everything like that. They really dropped the ball on a few key points in this game.
Yeah, exactly. And my biggest thing is too, like especially, I mean, you see it a lot of Mortal Kombat 9. Is you have your story mode, you go through the story and whatever. And then in Tower mode, when you beat the game with different characters, they have their own endings as well. And back to what you were saying about Ermac, about when you find out that he has Shao Kahn's soul at the end of his Mortal Kombat 9 ending, it's almost like, well, Ed Boon said, well, these are just fake endings and they didn't really happen. They're just like cool. They're just like cool what ifs.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a really big letdown. Like I guess I don't want to spoil anything, but there's a lot of Mortal Kombat X endings that
are ridiculously stupid.
pretty stupid. But there's also ones that are pretty cool. But if you mean to tell me they just kind of happen and they're not going to do anything with it later, well, that's kind of a waste to me. Like Liu Kang has a really cool ending, and personally, I fucking can't stand Liu Kang. But
The one thing I do have to say about the endings, though, despite whether you like them or not, the animations and the overall how they look is amazing.
Oh, the whole graphics.
The presentation of the game is unbelievable.
It's fantastic.
Phenomenal.
Like, we're bagging on a lot of this stuff, like, sir, but we're really nitpicking. Like, this is the weakest part of this game, but the presentation, you've probably seen the commercials by now or seen something. It's impossible to miss everything Mortal Kombat. The game looks and plays phenomenally. It is the best playing and best looking Mortal Kombat, hands down.
Yeah, exactly. Like we are, like you said, we are nitpicking, but again, I mean, especially if you've played Mortal Kombat and you're a fan of Mortal Kombat, even just as a casual gamer, if you pick this game up, you're going to like it.
Yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, if you like Mortal Kombat, I mean, why wouldn't you actually buy all these extra things? Not because you know you're going to be playing the game for a while. They added a lot to the online thing to it with the factions and things like that. However, they kind of didn't think it through in the end because they, would give you an option to pick from, like, say, the Lin Kuei, and if anybody knows who Scorpion's chief rival was for the longest time, sorry, the other way around, Sub-Zero's chief rival would be Scorpion, and Scorpion is in the...
Shirai Ryu.
And can you be one of those, that faction?
You cannot.
So why the hell can you not do that?
It doesn't really make any sense. There's no explanation for it. I was very curious when they had originally announced who all the 5 factions were. I thought it was very interesting. I knew that Special Forces would be there. The Special Forces have become a very, very big staple in the Mortal Kombat series nowadays. Yeah. Ever since I believe Deadly Alliance is when it really took off, when they brought in Kenshi and Cyrax joined the Special Forces. But anyway, then the Black Dragon. You can pick the White Lotus, which was very surprising to me. The Brotherhood of the Shadow, which makes sense because they are pretty much the bad guys.
If there's a main bad guy, I guess it'd be the Brotherhood of the Shadow.
Yeah, that would be the bad guys. And then the Lin Kuei, of course, the aforementioned Lin Kuei, which makes perfect sense that you would put in the Lin Kuei, but why they left the Shirai Ryu out, I don't know.
And even the Shaolin, too. I mean, I guess...
The Shaolin monks, they should have... I felt that they would have been in before the White Lotus.
And especially if they get developing new characters like Kung Jin, who they say was in the Shaolin monks. But.
Yeah.
My only thing that I could think of why they would have left out the Shirai Ryu, again, another spoiler for the comic, they were all annihilated in the comic.
Bastards.
Bastards. I didn't read the comic, but I don't think I will read it.
Yep. Doesn't really matter.
Speaking of the new characters, what did you think of them?
Currently, my favorite characters to use in the game actually are Erron Black and Kung Jin. I know you like Takeda.
Love Takeda.
Takeda.
Omega Red.
Yes. Well, I'm not sure what characters you use. I like the new characters. I always
Devora is my girlfriend.
I always think it's a very ballsy move for any video game developer to take a third of their roster and make it completely new characters. Because again, you look at other fighting games right now, like Tekken. Just take for example. I don't know what the roster is of Tekken 7, but I guarantee you everyone from Tekken 6 is in Tekken 7.
Like they were in Tekken 3 and Tekken 2.
Exactly. They never subtract any characters. They always add 2 or 3 more. But with Mortal Kombat, there's with the massive amount of people that they have over the entire span of Mortal Kombat's history. For them to dedicate a third of the roster for this game to completely new characters is very ballsy to me.
Yeah, and still on the new characters, I feel like I do love a lot of the new characters. I mean, I use Jackie Briggs and I do use Takeda as well, and I do occasionally use Aaron Black. My kind of one beef with the new characters, out of the core 4 of the new ones, which I guess you could say are Jackie, Cassie, Takeda, and Kung Jin, is you take Jackie and Cassie, and they're kind of like mirror images of Sonya and Johnny Cage and Jax. Whereas you have Kung Jin and Takeda, who, yes, are related to the older Mortal Kombat characters, but they made them their own Mortal Kombat characters. And they're different, and they have their own abilities.
They're very unique.
And they are very unique. Whereas, like I said, I feel like Cassie and Jackie are just like copy images of their ancestors.
Although I do have to say that Jackie Briggs's X-Ray is probably my favorite one in the game.
Awesome.
And also, I don't know if you've seen her second fatality. I believe it's called Fist Pump. It's pretty cool.
So again, too, you can't talk Mortal Kombat to review about that without reviewing the fatalities. And holy shit, the fatalities in this game are unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
I'm a master at this. You may be the master of Mortal Kombat. I'm a master debater.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they are something else, and boy, are they painful.
Yeah, they definitely stepped up their game in this one. They definitely took it to a new level. About time.
Without going into every single one of them, what's your favorite fatality?
My favorite fatality, that's tough. I like Kenshi's a lot. The copter blade.
That's
It's cool.
Especially not only the fact that he puts him through it, is that he kind of like stands with his back to it and he just gets showered in everybody's guts. Like it just kind of is.
Kenshi is a hardcore motherfucker.
Dude, he really is.
What about you there, Dutch?
Right now, I just have a few. The ones that always stand out, the ones that stand out to me the most. I like that Jackie Briggs one. It's very simple. I like the simple ones, but I don't know. It's always something that I thought should be in a Mortal Kombat game. I like the ones that usually use the powers, but also like whatever mysticism to each character. But also you gotta give it to Cassie Cage's selfie fatality. It's really clever.
Yeah.
And it's so funny, like everybody, like a lot of people trashed it. I know in the beginning, like with the bubblegum one is the first one or the selfie one. It was like, oh well, this is like stupid, but it so fits that character, knowing that she's the daughter of Johnny Cage and Sonya. It is really fitting. And I don't know if you get it, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've spent the time if you go and actually watch the posts afterwards.
Yeah, oh, dude,
they're great. Ed Boon is posting on there, and Kotal Khan's his handle is called Total Khan. and I also think it's also nice. You got to give it to the NetherRealm at the nods for other Mortal Kombats. If you look at the top, the name of the website that they're on, the I guess the social media website is called Friendships.
Yeah,
that was really good. So that was really good.
The very soft, like the subtle detail that they put in the game is really phenomenal throughout.
And that's one of the big things too as well. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I love it. They did a great job with it, but it's score time. And it's not mime time either. So it's time to throw down which number on a scale of 1 to 10. Nathaniel Frost, what would you give Mortal Kombat 10?
Given all things considered, I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
Shum ding dong.
I feel like it is a great game, but it does have its many flaws. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. And
I will meet them right in the middle and give it a 7.5 on the Avarice scale. Whatever that scale actually means.
Which is nothing.
Just kind of like my life. It means absolutely nothing. Well, folks, go out and play some Mortal Kombat. We hope you enjoyed all this right here. And I look forward to killing you all online and in person. I'm Jay Avarice.
I'm Brett.
And I'm the Mortal Kombat expert.
That's my brother. You guys, take care. We'll see you next time.